Jedi Survivor is less than a week away now, so I have compiled in this video everything that you need to know about Jedi Survivor before it launches. We're going to be touching on specifics on when it's coming out, platforms, PC specs, the game itself, characters, planets, story, gameplay. All the stuff you're going to want to know about this game is going to be right here in this video. Now, it's also worth mentioning that the gameplay in this video might not always reflect what I'm referencing. This was the footage that EA released to us that went to the gameplay event, and not all of what we know about the game takes place in that footage. But just before we dive into all of this good stuff, I do have a clips channel up and running where we post clips for Survivor as well as just Star Wars in general. And I will be giving away a copy of Jedi Survivor on that channel. We're pumping out multiple videos a day over there, so make sure you head on over, drop a sub, and also make sure you're following us over on Twitter as well, as we'll also be giving away a copy of Jedi Survivor there too. All the links will be in the description below. But now, let's dive into it, everything you need to know about Jedi Survivor. Number 1, platforms and hardware. Jedi Survivor will only be on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. So, no last gen consoles, only the new gen. We are not sure as of yet if there will be a version for old gen. As of right now, that doesn't seem to be the case. You'll also receive some pretty cool customization options for pre-ordering. Now, Jedi Survivor requires 155GB of space on PC and seemingly about a third of that on console. So be sure to have enough space in your hard drive before downloading the game. Now, if you are playing the game on PC, these are the recommended PC specs. Now, we did play a PC version of the game on an older build just under a month ago, and there were some frame rate issues even though we were playing on pretty powerful PCs. I expect most of those issues to be sorted at launch, but just full transparency there, it's a big game, it's a demanding game, so be ready for that. Number 2, story. I'm going to keep this brief because I don't want to ruin any big reveals for you, but the story of Survivor essentially takes place 5 years after Fallen Order, which means it takes place at roughly the same time as the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. The Mantis crew have been through some ups and downs, mostly downs, and they've split apart for their own different reasons, but the story of the game is sure to have them back together as we see what I think is going to be one of the more ambitious Star Wars stories told in recent years. Definitely the most ambitious in any video game under EA. Cal is on the hunt for a final escape from the Empire and is going to stop at nothing to be away from the Empire's grasp once and for all. Throw a healthy dose of Back to Tank Boy in there and this is going to be a pretty wild ride. All I will say is around launch, be very cautious of spoilers. There is a lot in this game that you do not want ruined for you. Number 3, customization. Customization is going to be through the roof in Survivor. You can make Cal look as stupid or as cool as you want. Everything from jackets, pants, hairstyles, facial hair, lightsabers, BD1, and the list goes on and on. Customization is one of the game's strongest points, so be ready to have some fun with it. Now, you can buy customization options from stores on Kobo, or you can find them by exploring the worlds. And yes, you're gonna want to find that delicious mullet, so make sure you explore Kobo well. The lightsaber customization is also back and better than ever. A ton of colors you could get in the first game as well as white. Now, you can customize each piece of the saber and even make it as shiny or as rough as you want. You can also change BD1's parts around as well. It's not just his color like the first game. So yeah, the customization in this game is nuts, and it definitely boosts the drive to explore. Respawn have taken a weakness of the first game and turned it into a strength of this one. Number 4, combat. Jedi Survivor has increased the number of available fighting stances to 5. All of them have strengths and their drawbacks. The single blade stance is the basic stance from the previous game. It's pretty much what you'd expect. The dual wielding stance provides faster attacks at the sacrifice of range and is maybe my favorite stance of them all. The double-edged lightsaber stance is very good for crowd control. The crossguard stance, you will be slower, but the attacks are more powerful. But the blaster stance is probably the most unique, combining Cal's blaster with his lightsaber and force powers. All of this brings together some pretty incredible ability potential. All I will say is if Red Dead and Fallen Order had a baby, that basically explains the blaster stance in Survivor. There's also 3 main skill tree categories with 9 sub-trees where you'll be able to spend your skill points and make Cal a bit of a beast. There is also a perk system which adds another layer to the gameplay. You can earn these perks by exploring the world. Companion combat is a big deal in this game as well. From what we know so far, you will be able to fight alongside Bode Acuna and Merrin. Both introduce new mechanics never before seen in this franchise. And all I will say is some of these finishes you get to do when fighting with a companion are actually incredible. Dismemberment is also a thing in Jedi Survivor for all characters. So you can slice off Stormtrooper legs and arms if you wish. You just can't cut their heads off from what I've seen. But you can cut the security droids' heads off like full Ned Stark execution mode, which is really cool. Number 5, planets. Survivor continues with the way planets work from Fallen Order. However, Koboh specifically is a much larger and more open world experience than anything we saw in the first game. Koboh was the planet I got to play on at the Survivor Capture event last month, and I barely even scratched the surface over nearly 4 hours of playtime. Like, it's a beefy boy. It also acts as a hub world with certain outposts which contain shops, even a cantina, even a toilet if you ever wanted to see what a toilet looks like in Star Wars. There's also going to be multiple other planets to explore as well. You won't just be limited to Koboh. We do know one of those other planets we'll be going to is Coruscant, and the other is shown in the trailers. I do know what this planet is, but I can't say it just yet. Just know it's pretty damn cool. But as of right now, that's all we know in terms of planets. Number 6, Traversal. Yes, there is fast travel in Survivor. No more backtracking through endless tombs and getting lost like in Fallen Order. Once you reach a meditation point, you can fast travel back to it at any time. So essentially all meditation points that you find when you explore these worlds open a new fast travel option for you. This is a game changer for Survivor. Now, whilst touching on travel, the map has also seen slight improvements from Fallen Order. I get a lot of questions about the map. Is it better than the first game? Is it scrapped? I will say it is very similar to the first game still, but it is definitely much better and easier to use. It's much clearer, it's less confusing, and just all round is a more refined version from the first game. And lastly, on the topic of traversal, there is a mount system which lets you ride larger creatures as well as glide using airborne creatures. And on Koboh especially, you're going to need this because, like I said, Koboh is massive. There is also a grappling hook as well to help you get to hard to reach places. Like, they've really beefed up how you explore in this game. Most of the traversal mechanics from the first game do make a return here as well. They've only really added to the traversal from the first game and taken nothing away. And you're going to find that's a pretty common theme with Survivor. It just builds on what worked from the first game in basically every single way. Traversal is no exception. So that is everything that you need to know about Jedi Survivor. We're less than a week away now. Make sure you keep a really close eye on the channel in the build up to the release. I've got some pretty cool stuff coming your way. Remember to check out my clips channel and my Twitter, as like I said, I'll be giving away a copy of Jedi Survivor on each of those two. But more details to come on that giveaway soon. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Let me know if you are hyped for Survivor in those comments, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.